Greetings, everyone. Greetings. And tonight's broadcast is going to be a consortium of a few topics, and our guest will be Bro Sanchez, who we have had on here many times. And we will be talking about several items, one being Lil RT, that's the rapper from Atlanta, and his lyrics that he actually went viral on. Then we will speak on Hassan Campbell. Many of you have already talked about that and have had your opinions on that. Hey there, Deja Vu, how are you? Welcome. This should be very good. And please, everyone, be interactive. If you have questions you would like to ask, please be sure to do that. And the link will be available as well. Also, Diddy and more of that situation. And we will get into the expertise of Bro Sanchez, which are many things, but the occult and dreams and whatever else he would like to teach. So, without further delay, let us all welcome back my special guest, Bro Sanchez. Hey there, Bro Sanchez.
How you doing, my sister?
I am doing well. Happy Saturday to you.
Thank you. I'm setting up on my end as well. I'm gonna share this so we can get some more people in the building and all that good stuff.
All right, you can go right ahead and do that. And again, everyone, this is Bro Sanchez. His link is in the description of the video. And those that are coming in, especially the members that are coming in or will be coming in, please make sure that you hit that like button. And if you have not had the opportunity to listen to any of the broadcast of Bro Sanchez, please do yourself a favor and do so. The man is absolutely deep and he will have you thinking. Now, keep in mind, everyone is not going to agree with everything, and actually that's healthy. But as he taught me, and I'll never forget, you have to learn to go outside. And I've been outside since. And it's really just to push you to think and, more importantly, to question. So with that, you can look at the description and see what the topics are going to be. The first one, as I mentioned, will be Lil RT. And for those of you who did not hear it the first time, Lil RT is a 9-year-old rapper from Atlanta who went viral. Hey there, McCray, how are you? For some of the lyrics in a video entitled 60 Mile. And I am not going to play that nor put up the lyrics, but what I did want to go over momentarily is the response from the 29-year-old collaborator Doe Boy. And I would like to get engaged. Bro Sanchez, when he sees this, his thoughts, and then those in the comment section, those who may have comments about what I'm going to place up on the screen. Yes, 9 years old, all grit and grind, and welcome. You all make sure, if you have not already subscribed to Bro Sanchez, look into the description of this video, and the link will be there, and I'll be putting more links as we go. So, if that is clear, and also, please, for those that understand what spamming is, do not spam the chat. This is going to be an important conversation, a conversation that we've tried to have, but connection issues and other things do come up. So please understand that as well. But in answer to your question, all heart, grit, and grind, yes. Lil RT, and let me put it in the chat real quick for those two, if they want, they can look it up really quickly. And I think some of this has already been removed, but Lil RT. But what I'm going to concentrate on is the response from the adult. And I would like to gauge how you all feel about this response. Again, this is from Doe Boy. And to me, it's disheartening. But some of you may say, well, he has a point. So without further delay, let me present to you what Doughboy had to say in reference to the pushback he received on the lyrics of the 9-year-old rapper Lil RT. Hey there, Big Dog Philly OG. I'll drop the link later if anyone wants to come up. So here is the first slide. And Bro Sanchez, let me know if you're able to see this.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So basically, it's saying that wasn't all Doughboy said about Lil RT's lyrics. According to the Cleveland native, so Doughboy is from Cleveland, which I don't really think has a lot to do with it, but they put that in there. Claims that he's actually helping Lil RT instead of corrupting him, as many have said on social media. Now, the lyrics, some of the lyrics that this little boy was rapping to had to do with, I'll just say, adult acts,
Yeah.
dangerous acts. So for Doughboy to sit here and say he's actually helping instead of corrupting him is concerning to me. So that's the first slide. And Bro Sanchez, take it away.
I want to read this. It says, did he ever go into how he was helping him? Is he referring to like putting money in his pocket, getting them famous and all that? Because if that's what he referring to, my whole opinion about Lil RT is that is lowering the standard for all parents on, you know, what we're gonna allow our children to do and not do. So if you work hard in this country to raise your children the right way, and if they young, you may hit them in the mouth for saying certain words and stuff like that. That's gonna be damn near impossible to do as we have more little RTs coming up. Because if you got the majority of the nation clapping for this kind of talk and for this kind of behavior among children his age, it makes that job that much harder for parents with a child that's little RT age that's trying to have him talk the right way. It lowers the bar across the whole board. And when you got little children speaking of very sexual, vulgar things that they shouldn't know about as a child unless somebody's been practicing pedophilia, right? That's another concern because it, some of the stuff he say is like you said, this is X-rated adult stuff. So when you got women that's marveling at that, is kind of straddling the fence of kind of pedophilia. That's just like when young Michael Jackson used to grope on stage and do sexual gestures or whatever, sing the love songs that was written for grown women, but it's a young boy singing it, and the women would try to get at young Mike. This was known in the Jackson family. I wouldn't be surprised if young Mike had him a few older women when he was a little boy. So when you get into the music game, the lines start to be blurred between adults and children. Where do we draw the line at is what we gotta ask, because if there is no line, then shit, we can, children 6 or 7 can be talking about SMD, eating bud and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so that's where we headed. And I'll fall back right there.
Absolutely. Welcome, member of Black Edits. Deja Vu says she's not familiar with Lil RT. He's actually in the photo of the thumbnail. And you can see him with a wad of money in his hand. So this is the next response from Doe Boy. And this is not a slight at anyone, but to me, and this is just me, and I put that in the description as well. The views and opinions are not of YouTube nor Google, but if you listen or read the response, how can I put this without being offensive? Because that is not my intent. But to me, the individual Doe Boy, just his writing alone, to me, speaks volumes. So this is the next. And welcome to everyone. In his statement, Doe Boy explained how, and this is what I want you all to think about and comment on, because part of this some may agree with. Parents, again, no slight, but some of this some people may find to be true. In his statement, Doe Boy explained how there are kids who play Call of Duty, and that's a video game, everyone. And he claims that they say the exact same thing, if not worse. His quote was, IDK, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but y'all little 9-year-old kids talk just like that on them Call of Duty mics. Your thought about that, Bro Sanchez, and anyone else in the chat?
Yeah. I think that these are some lame excuses. It's best just not to even say nothing if you Doe Boy, because it ain't like parents in the room with these children listen to them talk like that and stuff and condoning it and encouraging it, and then them playing a video game ain't a art form. In those video games, they being competitive. That's no different than sister, when we was playing basketball coming up. Let's say somebody crossed you over and then they slammed in your face. They'll say nuts in your mouth. You know, they'll disrespect you, like, because they slammed on you, right? On the basketball court, dudes talk real crazy to each other, but it was competitive. You gotta have thick skin. But the thing is this: that's like saying, because children speak competitively playing games, that adults should encourage children to do that as an art form and as a normal day-to-day behavior. Because check it out, right? We was able to let our mouth fly off the chain like that because when no adults around, when we went to the court and shit like that, when we was young as hell, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's a lame excuse, because if your only example is Call of Duty, where they shooting each other and killing each other, because he's right, in these gaming communities, they do turn up and stuff. But like I said, it's a competitive nature involved. That if that opens the door for us to, and how old is Lil RT again?
He is 9 years old.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, Call of Duty ain't even rated for 9-year-olds, because these video games got ratings on them. So he got to show me like that. That's any kind of example he give are gonna be for an age group that's above Lil RT's age bracket.
Absolutely. But again, to me, there could be a point there. And the next, and this was really disturbing to me. And I'll read this because I know there are some people may catch the replay or they're out driving or handling things in the house. It says, I've been seeing all the GD comments and all the little posts and little tweets and all that ish, just hating on the little, I'll just say ninja. Now,
Wow.
that first sentence, look at the writing skills. And again, that's not a slight to anyone, but to me, because I'm almost 55, that says a lot. I'll repeat that again. I've been seeing all the GD comments and all the little posts and all the little tweets and all that ish, just hating on the little ninja. Doughboy said, that S lame as hell to me. At the end of the day, he, 9 years old. Think about, I don't know. I don't know if you from where we from. This is important right here. I don't know. I don't know if you from where we from, but from where I'm from, GD, that's a regular little ninja in the hood.
Yeah, I think that he's right about this post, but he's still wrong about Lil RT. And here's why. What we doing today is we saying because our savage and messed up behavior has been normalized and corporatized and marketed by the enemy, it's okay now. Because check it out, he's right. It's little dudes like that running around the hood, and it was less of them at one point. It's all got to do with parenting, because I stayed next door to a little dude like that, but everybody's little ninja wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It was every other house, every other 2, 3 houses or something like that. And those were the houses where, let's just say it was ratchet as hell. You could tell. You go look at the parents. See, that's so it's regular. And if you in certain hoods, every house is like that. Everybody just. So my thing is, if ratchetness is winning in the hood and ain't nobody got no standards, and anybody that try to criticize and say the right thing, that's hating right there. That's hating. What he gotta realize is there's people who got children the same age as Lil RT, and they telling their children don't curse and smacking them on the mouth for saying the F-bomb. And then you got a little dude, they age, getting promoted and praised, and they putting chains on him, and he's saying way worse stuff than that. So this sets the bar. It sets us back so far. Like people be thinking that Chris Rock slapping Will Smith and all, or the Will Smith slap is setting us back and all this. The biggest setback is stuff like this, but I don't think a lot of people really got the balls to talk about it. But I'll say this, and I'll end on it. Him saying that we hating on him is one thing. Hold on, let me put the post back up. Yeah, he said, appreciate that. He said, yeah, because it is regular nowadays to go up in the hood and everybody talking like Lil RT, even the mama, everybody on a 4th grade level. They say 3-word sentences or 4-word sentences. Fuck that shit. On my mama. 3-word, three-letter sentence. That's it. And it's from 0 to 100. It's a lot of mental issues. And these mental issues, if they go unchecked in the parents, we pass them down generation to generation. The music that we praise and the culture that we think is so regular and normal in our hoods is not really a culture. It's mental side. It's mental warfare. We know about biological warfare. This psychological warfare, when people can program a self-destructive message into a whole group of people through nice beats and rhythms. Because if the beats was off and the little nigga was just rapping instrumental, it'll hit different. I'm just saying we get to hide behind the idea of it being art. You know what I'm saying? We hating on him and he making money. He in the music business. Uh, yeah, you know, it's I could go on and on about how shiesty the music game is and where we headed as far as with the children and all that.
Absolutely. And you mentioned something earlier about grooming, which absolutely makes a lot of sense. And it's just something, again, that to me was deplorable. But we have to keep in mind, and this is not a defense to anyone, but I'm just being fair, that there are people in certain, I'll just say, zip codes or may come from certain situations who may have this mindset. And are we wrong, or are we judging, or are we being honest about it is still, at least from my optics, wrong as it relates to these small children? Because as you said, and as many people may believe, he's not the only 9-year old. There's actually a story. I want to say this little kid may have been 6 years old, back in 2012, that had a song and I am not putting that up because it may make a lot of people really disturbed, but he was pictured on the pool with two women with their backsides, even though they were covered in bikinis. But the name of the song, or one of the lyrics, was, I can make your booty pop. Again, that was a, I believe, 6-year old who stated that. 6 years old. So
I,
here is,
you know, we live in a culture where people have no problem sexualizing children. That's like that's really crazy. That's like if that's okay, there's nothing wrong with 6-year-old girls having swimsuit beauty pageants and walkway contests and all that. See, this is how you know P words rule this country.
absolutely, and this is the last slide in reference to Lil RT, again, the young 9-year old rapper from Atlanta who went viral in a music video. And the collaborator's name was Doe Boy, who's 29, on some of these lyrics that were, to me, completely disgusting and vile. And this is the last comment from Doe Boy. All our young ninjas act like that. First of all, that's a generalization. All our young ninjas act like that.
And if that's true, then we in trouble. Can I say something to just this first sentence right here?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead on, Ike. Thank you.
Because when you got a cookout full of black folks and there's a young nigga like young ninja like Lil RT, and he's at the cookout, everybody chilling, talking about sports and stuff, and he over there talking about SMD, eating booty, all this vulgar, gross stuff. Guess what happens? They say, "Hey, boy, watch your mouth, boy." They check that real quick, right? But in some of these sick ass hoods, they laugh at it and say, "That little nigga crazy." Say it again, boy. That little nigga tripping. They promote it, and guess what? That is just more people that's doing that, you know, because when he say all our young ninjas, he talk about a lot of them, because a lot of parents think that's cute to see their children emulate their messed up behavior. But parenting is about having your children be better than you and promote the next generation better than you. The stuff that's coming out of that boy mouth is going to literally lead him down a wrong path. if you ask me, especially if we talking about rapping what you living and all that. But I'm gonna fall back.
Absolutely. And the link is there if anyone has anything they would like to add in reference to Lil RT before we go on to the next topic. They run around cussing bad as F. So it's like that ish, just nothing really too crazy. So it's like ish. At least he trying to do something positive.
Wow.
Whoa. I'll repeat that.
Wow.
So it's like ish. At least he trying to do something positive though.
Oh my God.
And this is from a 29-year-old, the collaborator of this music video. His name is Doe Boy.
You know what's crazy, right? I just put out right now. It's a camp in Atlanta. I just looked this up. It's a camp in Atlanta called Camp Invention. And they got these top-notch children that's Lil RT age, 6 years old to 8 years old. And they got one of them named Kid Genius. That's was on Ellen, I think. But I don't know if that's in Atlanta or not. But I'm gonna make a point with this, right? Because sorry about the dogs. Give me 1 minute.
No worries. Hey there, Ryder. How are you? Welcome, member. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, so he said all the young ninjas act like that. They are run around cussing, bad as F, and all like that. That's because most of them ain't being raised by the parents. They being raised by the streets. They're emulating music, a self-destructive music genre is what they're emulating instead of them doing what righteous parents brought them up to do. See what I'm saying? So if they being raised in the industry, that's like most of these kids, you know, and their parents is on some gangster shit, then yeah, most of them, if you it's true. But the thing is, he said bad as fuck, cussing, everything that lead to hell and jail at a young age. How is any of that positive though? Because the thing is this: if most of the kids in the hood act like Lil RT, how is it anything to put on a pedestal and blow up? It'll be different for you to blow up a 6-year-old that's rapping about positive stuff. That's rapping. See, I got to give a shout out to Jermaine Dupri. Bow Wow Soul Mo Records talking about basketball and stuff. We playing basketball and then and kept his dignity and stuff. I'm just saying we took that for granted then, but looking at Lil RT now, we can definitely respect that. And you know, the fact that he said he's trying to do something positive is crazy because it is 6 years old that can sing, that's rapping positive. It's 6 years old, like I said, in Atlanta that's doing STEM and inventing stuff. And if you really wanted to display something outside of the status quo from Atlanta to show that the ATL got more to offer than just Gatlanta, even in our children that we raise in the next generation of Americans, right? We're gonna present the same shit to the world. You see what I'm saying? That got us nowhere. And I think it's a failure to a whole generation. This is deeper than Lil RT, and I think Doughboy just looking at the to me the business side of it. He blinded by the money because yeah, this shit's crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Welcome, D Shep. Again, the link is there for anyone who has anything they would like to say in reference to what you have seen that I've displayed on the screen, the response from 29-year-old collaborator of this 9-year-old rapper, Lil RT, and Bro Sanchez. Rita says, and you can chime in on your thoughts on this comment. I believe he means we as melanated people are a cursed race. And I don't care what no one says. We must have done something in a former life and are being judged hell on earth.
Can I speak to that?
Absolutely. And Ryder, if
Now,
you're in the chat still, place a one. Yes, you can speak to anything. You're the guest. And anyone that wants to come up. Link
you
is there.
you know, as a woman, how a woman may can be abused by a man, and instead of her, standing up to the abuser that's beating on her and blacking her eyes and doing her wrong, she'll look in the mirror and say, "What did I do right? I'm so stupid." I forgot what they call it, but the woman will look for ways to blame herself. Well, I should have cooked his meal quicker, or I should have done, you know what I'm saying, or I should have. So I think that's a lot of mentality of our people, because we don't understand that it ain't got to be no curse or no divine intervention or a spell or abracadabra or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? What it is, the truth is, you're born in a war ground, and people practice psychological warfare, biological warfare, economic warfare, and all that, etc., against you. And until you learn all of those forms of warfare and start fighting back, you can blame it on the devil. You can blame it on all kind of superstitions and mythologies. But really, it's just strategies and systems designed and implemented against a group of people, and not just yours.
Okay. I'm not sure if Rita is still here or not. I know that a lot of people could possibly echo that sentiment, because it does seem like, at least from my standpoint, at least where I am today, that a lot of things, negative things, has been bestowed upon us. And that to me is a good debate right there. And he's still here, and he says he can agree with that. So, Ryder, do you have anything else you would like to add? And again, the link is there for the last time in reference to Lil RT. Hey there, Voodoo Child. How are you? I'll drop it one more time. Again, I put up several statements made by the 29-year-old Doe Boy, who appears to be supporting the lyrics from Lil RT, a 9-year-old rapper from Atlanta, who went viral for his lyrics that spoke about adult situations and violence of things of that nature. And everyone, please make sure that you welcome Brother Sanchez, who is the guest, and please wish him a happy birthday. His birthday was earlier this week. Team Sagittarius is in the house.
I
And then
appreciate
we'll go on. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Oh, no
Oh,
problem.
that was the last of Doughboy statements. Was there any more celebrities that was defending Lil RT? Any more rappers?
Not that I know of. After I read that article, I was done, because I'm sure that there are many that actually agree. And I will say this, he's not the first. We already know that. And I can remember, I'm laughing because
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to offend anyone. I always say that. But for some reason, mothers defend the male child faster than they do their girls. And I don't know if it was the
Oh
beeper
yeah.
that was out at the time or if it was the cell phone. But when my brother became of age and started to smell himself, and I'm sure many of you have heard that term,
Oh
she was trying to call. Hey there, Voodoo Child, give me one moment. She was trying to call my brother. So she said, can you try to call him? I just want to make sure he's okay. And at that time, well, even now, when you try to call someone, they'll put something on their voicemail. Usually it's their voice, but at that time, you could put music. And I must confess, I'm a Snoop Dogg fan, but at that very beginning, I had a problem because when I tried to contact my brother, what he had on his voice message, and I forget the name of the song, but the imagery was this. There was a little boy that was supposed to be little Snoop, and there was a teacher that was going around asking the little kids what they wanted to be. And all you Snoop fans may remember this song. But in the very, very beginning, the teacher said, "Hi, young man, what is your name?" And the little boy said, "My name is Snoop." And the teacher said, "Hi, Snoop, what would you like to be when you grow up?" I kid you not. The response was, "I want to be a effing hustler." This was years ago.
I don't think that's bad though, because a hustler can be somebody that's working a good job and they don't call off and they call in for extra hours, or they got a second job, or they're a boss with their own law firm as a young man, you know. So and Snoop Dogg literally turned out to be a hustler, like as far as business wise go. You know what I'm saying? So, if that's compared to Lil RT, that's like angelic, uh, in comparison. I like something you said. You said that we tend to be more lenient on the young boys than the young girls. That's powerful because when you said that, immediately what popped in my mind is the best argument we can make for Lil RT is what would be the 6-year-old female equivalent of Lil RT, because we tell our little girls close your legs and be womanly and don't talk like that and stuff like that. So now what if you got a 6-year-old little girl sexualized at a 6-year-old age, showing herself, doing all this, talking about what she'll do and all this? See, it hit different now. Same age. You see, and that's a good point about if it was a little female, I think it'll be more, uproar about it. But yeah,
Absolutely. And Voodoo Child, welcome real quick. Ryder says, I'm not going to be biased. I do believe in a higher spirit, but I think it's easier for people to use religion as a scapegoat just to wait a minute to justify certain situations that they cannot come to grips with. And Ryder wanted your opinion on that. And after that, Voodoo Child, you have the mic. Can you see that on the screen, Bro Sanchez?
yeah. Salutes to Voodoo Child. Salutes, says I'm not going to be biased. I do believe in a higher spirit, but I think it's easier for people to use religion as a scapegoat to justify certain situations that they can't come to grips with. Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with that. Yeah,
Okay. Voodoo Child, welcome. I haven't seen you before. I've seen you around, but welcome. Your thoughts and opinions and what you would like to offer.
Appreciate for the love. Appreciate the opportunity to talk. I just want to tell Sanchez that was a good one, man. That picture that hit home hard, homie. Just flipping it over to the feminine and imagine hearing a little girl talk like that, man. right,
Yeah.
right there. That should have just shut the door, right? Because I ain't heard nobody made that argument at all. They just talking about the little boy, the little boy. I mean, but when you said that, man, I just visualized it. I was like, wow.
And,
But that's on the way, of
and
course.
you know, and you know what's crazy too, now that I think about it too, is that it's a claim that little boys are touched more by older women than little girls are touched by older men. But don't nobody say that about it because dudes think it's cute. Like on some real stuff, some of the homies probably take their young man to the strip club. Listen, man, even go so far. Let me just your mind can go. You know where I'm going because it's cool. My little nigga, I'm with you already know this
Yeah,
be some
yeah,
hood stuff. But
yeah.
for the girl, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't take your daughter to a male strip
No,
club and let
no.
her. But so that reversing it really shows some about sexualizing children and then versus the masculine and the feminine. That's crazy.
Yes, it does. It was an interesting.
Absolutely. And let me chime in real quick. All heart, grit, and grind. Thank you. Now, Bro Sanchez, not giving you any smoke, well, maybe just a little bit of smoke. You said that you agreed with Snoop because he ended up being just that, a hustler and successful. I don't have a problem with that, but I think the point I was trying to make and all hard grit and grind actually helped me remember that it was because, and again, people, we can agree to disagree, because it was a setting of a school or a schoolhouse, as older people would say. And he said at a young age, remember, he was young Snoop at the time, not old Snoop, that he wanted to be an MFing hustler. Do you still think that was okay to express himself using the obscenities?
Okay, so he used profanity versus him telling you to SMD, and if you ain't sucking, you can't be around him, and So the thing is, we talking about sexualizing 6-year-olds. We now walk in the fence of pedophilia versus a child that just said a cuss word. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said now that's a big difference because children curse when they listen to their favorite song. They may a little cuss word here and there. That's profanity, right? And I ain't gonna say it's good. It's a good thing or a bad thing depending on what context, right? Because uh, your child can be a rapper and can be rapping positive raps though, not no drug dealing stuff and no sex stuff, but still use a cuss word here and there to express their hate toward the system or something. Fuck America, right? But they may be 12 saying that. I'll say, damn right, man. I'm with how you using the profanity right there. So I'm just saying I can make an argument for a child just using profanity, right? And versus a child that's being sexualized. Because think about this. The child is telling grown women what he'll do to them sexually and stuff like that. And if they ain't doing this, how they can't be, you know what I'm saying? So it like I said, if you take the 6-year-old girl and she's saying that to grown men, America find that distasteful. Now, if a 6-year-old girl says shit, yeah, you'll say, girl, watch your mouth. But if the 6-year-old girl say, I want him to eat me out, and that's a grown man, you'll have a whole nother issue on your psyche. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole
I,
different
I, I get
understanding.
what you're saying, brother, because it's like this. We be imaginary to say as kids we didn't cuss. I mean, I'm from the hood. I don't know what you, but we cussed. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, at that age, I wasn't saying nothing like that. Nothing like that. But we didn't grow up saints though, so I feel you on that.
Yeah, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I surely didn't. I remember, and I told this story before, that I don't even know how old I was, but children did say words that they should not have at a very young age. And a lot of times, you may not even know what you're saying. You're repeating what you hear, and some of us may end up bringing it home, and we don't know what we're actually bringing home. I remember my godmother was doing my hair, and she had me standing up in the bathroom, and she was just combing it, and she was like, "We have to hurry up so we can get to the story." And I'm like, "Okay, well, hurry up, B." No sooner than the came out of my mouth, my mother came from her bedroom and knocked me on that floor and asked me, "Where did I hear that?" Now, my mother cursed like a sailor, but she was one of those ones who said, "Do as I say, not as I do." So that's how we grew up. And even today, now that I'm older, every now and again I may get in my bag, but I don't use a lot of obscenities. And that's not to say that I judge anyone, because I don't. A lot of us are extremely passionate when we're speaking, but then we have a population of people that they can't finish a sentence less more than a paragraph without using obscenities and all of that. And I believe that you can still get your point across without doing that. And you have to consider your audience as well. And that's just my opinion on that. Thank you, Voodoo Child, for coming up. And Ryder says, "You know what's crazy? The little rapper, I think, is outrageous. And it's like I would accept a boy saying that instead of a girl at the same age. Man, it's crazy. I thought that."
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy because we talking and we gotta keep in mind sexualization. I'd much rather that young man just be spitting his raps and cussing. You know, I got can't nobody fuck with me. You know, my raps is the best. You know what I'm saying? All y'all niggas suck. Boom. You know, he can cuss like that, in my opinion. If he just spitting like, you know, some regular rap, but this is is basically putting the demon time in the 6-year-olds. Like, to me, there's things you can do if you're an adult. If you're a certain age, you can have a stick with the extended clip and be on demon time and talk vulgar and live reckless. But then as a collective, I think there got to be a level of drawing a line where we still tell the children don't go that route. See, my thing is this, right? I moved from Alabama to the West Coast. And what I find on more on the West Coast than I do where I'm from is that a lot of the gang members out here, they'll tell the children, "Don't you be in no damn gang. That shit ain't gonna get you nowhere, homie." Let me get in their voice for a minute. Fuck them gangs, homie. You see these shots? Look at this shot, homie. Fuck a gang, homie. You don't want to be in a gang, homie. That's how they be. I see that a lot on the West Coast, where you will see a dude with a bunch of tats in his face telling the young kids, "You don't want to be in no gang like I did." But see, in the South, they'll put the bandana on the 6-year-old and show him how to throw it up and put the gun in his little pants and all that and laugh and think it's cute. You see what I'm saying? I'm just saying it, not to just regionalize it like that, but I'm just saying it's crazy, man.
Absolutely. And Voodoo Child, you're quite welcome. Voodoo Child says pornography. So I understand what you're saying, and I'm still going to have in my head because.
I don't know if they was able to hear that on your side though, because my mic was down.
Oh, I was saying I'm not, I forgot what I was saying. I'm sorry. I understand that a lot of people will echo your sentiment as far as it's just a little young guy using profanity as opposed to um, them sexualizing, which to me, it's grooming and it could turn into one of the topics that will be coming up shortly after this. I guess I'm always going to think and feel, I guess it's just me that hearing a little child, even though that's part of the game, if you will, it's still going to be um, concerning to me. I understand your point, but I guess just me being me, it's concerning. That's all. But as far as the sexualization of these young people, you're absolutely correct. And I'm wondering how many more has this happened to, and perhaps they're quiet. And where do we go from here? Or is this our new normal? I was finished with my thought. If you wanted to chime in on that. Hey there, Tori. How are you?
I'm having tech issues on my end. I had my mic down the whole while I was speaking.
Oh my goodness. Okay, and
So I
Voodoo
don't know if
Child says,
my
when
bad.
can, I'm sorry, Voodoo Child has a good point. He says, let me go ahead and start it. When can we sue as an objective observer of someone being exploited and abused?
It's crazy, man. I listen. I can't give no legal perspective, but I'm just gonna double down what I was saying last time. I do think that it's setting a new standard for what's gonna be the new norm, and I wouldn't be surprised if next we see a 6-year-old girl with little shorts on, some heels on, dancing sexually, saying stuff that you never would think come, that you would pop your daughter in the mouth. Look, listen, saying stuff Nicki Minaj say, let's just say. Because like we said, when you flip that right there is something I never thought about with this little RT discussion until now. And it's just stuck in my head that once you flip it around, you can't even make the argument for it no more. But what does that say about our uh you know biasness toward the little boys though? But I'm gonna fall back.
Okay, does anyone else have anything they would like to add as far as Lil RT? Voodoo Child says, when is, and someone did actually bring this up before, when is CPS going to get involved? Because I'm sure they wouldn't approve of this behavior. I've
Oh
seen
man.
people lose their children for less.
Oh man. Oh man. Yo. Listen, a voodoo child ain't playing. Let me listen. Hey, I'm
Nope,
not
let me
gonna
drop this again. Thank you, Voodoo Child. I'm going to keep this up for anyone who wants to respond to that. When is CPS going to get involved? Because I'm sure they wouldn't approve of this behavior. I've seen people lose their children for less, but keep in mind, and I'm not being devil's advocate, I'm just putting this out here. Lil RT is an entertainer. He is deemed a social influencer, no matter how much some of us may say that is extremely cringe. This is the truth.
I don't know what that mean. That don't mean nothing to CPS. That don't mean nothing to CPS. I'm just keeping it real, you know. But yeah, you know, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
And Ryder says, oh man, Voodoo Child dropped the bomb on that one. Welcome, Rochelle. Rochelle, you're one of the women that are in here. If you have anything you want to say about the situation with Lil RT before we move on to the next one, which is a popular, extremely popular content creator who has been making a buzz throughout these YouTube streets over this past week. And Voodoo Child says, really quickly, what if the CPS agent came to your house and heard your kids listening to Lil RT? How would it go then? Okay, Voodoo Child is dropping some bombs. I think some smoke is coming. Does anybody smell what Voodoo Child is cooking?
You know
Y'all
something?
remember that from the wrestling? Or no wrestling fans in here?
You know, some Voodoo Child is asking the questions that's gonna really that you know that's a crazy way to go with it, but that's the right way to go because eventually I think it's gonna either head there. But before it get worse, they probably ain't gonna let this happen get out of hand because they don't want the female version to ever get out. And I'm gonna tell you something about the female and the male at 6-year-old when it comes to adult sexualizing these children. You will see older women tell little boys, "You little sexy butt, you look just like your daddy. He fine as hell." They'll do that, right? You see, tell me I'm not the only one saw that coming up because it happened to me. And older women would tell little boys how fine and sexy they are. But if an older man tell a 7-year-old, 10-year-old girl, you look just like your mama. Look at that sexy walk and them hips. You know what I'm saying? But that's it go back to that dynamic between it's different for boys than girls. And I think that's a whole nother subject within itself.
Absolutely. And before we bring our next guest up, D Shep, thank you, D Shep says, not sure if it's been brought up, but remember when Cardi B was playing that WAP song, and I don't have to let everyone know what that acronym WAP stands for, song live at home, she paused it because her daughter walked in because of its content. What message does that send? Bro Sanchez meet Tough Love. Tough Love meet Bro Sanchez. He is a Army veteran, sergeant, and you are also Air Force, I believe, veteran, if I'm not mistaken. So you all, I'm sure, can have an awesome build, but I want you all to, Bro Sanchez, tackle this first and then Tough Love. Not sure if it's been brought up, but remember when Cardi B was playing the WAP song live at home, she paused it because her daughter, yes, Melly, we know what WAP is. Some of us may not have one. Sorry about that. She paused it because her daughter walked in because of its content. What message does that send? Bro Sanchez first and then Tough Love. Welcome, and you'll be up next.
Yeah, that you know that says a lot, and I mean it's basically self-explanatory, saying how a lot of these rappers will spew a message that'll lead our children down a road of destruction while shielding their own children from that same message. I think that's crazy. Oh yeah.
Okay, Tough Love. Good to see you. Welcome.
Salute. I appreciate the invite. Salute to the host. Salute to the guest panelists and to chat. In reference to the topic, I definitely agree with what the brother just said. However, I feel like it's not rappers' responsibility to raise our kids. And if Cardi B or any other rapper is smart enough to say, listen, what mommy or daddy does, is how mommy and daddy get paid. However, she's not responsible for being a role model to your kids. That's when you have to make sure that your kids are shielded from X, Y, and Z. So if she
There you
did do
go.
that and she's conscious of what type of music she puts out for the airways, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, she's not saying have your kids listen to me. She's saying, hey, this is music that adults listen to. So if she did do that, and she's cognizant of saying this is adult music, it's inappropriate for you to hear it. I mean, to be honest with you, that has to be commended, because I've seen rappers have their kids in videos around people who are smoking weed, blowing weed in their face, drinking, cursing, listening to all types of music, all types of, look at Boosie. He let a stripper dance on his teenage son. So again, if you are cognizant of your message that you're sending out and you're telling your kids, hey, this is adult content, I think parents need to be cognizant of making sure that their children are not listening to adult content. That's why I feel.
I agree 100% with what that brother just said. Big salutes to you, Tough Love. Thanks for joining, bro.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Tough Love. I told you this would be a good build. And Tough Love, if you have not had a chance to listen to him, he's extremely passionate. And I'll put his link in as well. So, anyone else has anything to say with Lil RT, but not so much as Lil RT, but the collaborator, the 29-year-old, whose responses to me were disturbing. And that's just from my optics. Other people may say it's okay because of culture. I don't like using the word culture. I prefer to use mindset, but then there's others that may say, no, it's a culture. Let me get these comments really quickly. D. Shep says, I agree. To me, it says that the parenting on average is in a very sad state. And Voodoo Child says, I agree with you, brother. We need to be responsible parents.
I got a question on that last comment with Voodoo Child. And
Okay.
this is something we all got to admit. It makes it that much harder for us to be responsible parents. For example, if you got a 6-year-old and you tell them to behave a certain way, and they get exposed to another 6-year-old that's getting commended by a large group of our people for behaving in a way that we should look down upon or whatever. So I think that I don't really think it's a conversation of parenting as much as it is sexualizing children in music. I see that a lot in the industry. It's a lot of pedo stuff go on. And this has been going on before Lil RT is deeper than him. And I think this should lead to a conversation on, because when we flip the script and put the 6-year-old girl up there with the miniskirt on, this is what we're not talking about, because the thing that really I'm passionate speaking on when it comes to Lil RT is just the people say, well, he's cussing. I'm saying, well, this man telling grown women the SMD and all this stuff. So it becomes sexual when a grown woman listen to that and say, and she want to hear a young boy tell her, what he's going to do to her sexually. This becomes a very blurring of the line. And I think the conversation is at a common ground at that point amongst all parents, where we got a common ground when it comes to the issue of what age can we sexualize children. At no age. It don't even sound right. That was the conversation that comes up with the young men.
Yeah, brother, you can't even, whoever, I don't know who brought that up, but at what age can you sexualize children? You can't even put that in the same sentence. Whoever thought about that, you can't even put that in the same. There's a zero tolerance for anyone who's putting children in harm's way, speaking ill on children, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So once you start giving leeway, saying, oh yeah, you can do it if they 16. You can do it if they 13. Once you start doing that, people always try to move the margin or move the goalpost and say, well, if you can do it if they're 13, you can do it when they're 12. If you can do it when they're 16, you can do it when they're 15. So if you have a zero tolerance and say, listen, I'm serious about me and I'm serious about the people I love, and I'm definitely serious about children, whether they're mine or not. So there's a zero tolerance about that type of thing. I think that gives people a better understanding of where you stand in reference to standards and morals.
Right on.
Bro Sanchez, did you have anything you would like to add to Tough Love's commentary?
No, I just agree with him once again.
Okay, good. Oh, good. All right, Voodoo Child is knocking it out. Voodoo Child says, how do we not believe that the industry is in child trafficking? Uh-oh, Voodoo Child, you're getting ready to open up Pandora's box. When you're seeing this being produced and released under what record label? Welcome, Enemies Public. The link is there if you have anything you would like to add before we go on. I didn't know this was going to get that involved, but when you think about it, and I just had chills when Bro Sanchez and the other gentleman in here mentioned about, okay, what's going to happen when I already believe that little girls are doing this, but it may not be magnified as of yet. And that's just my opinion. But here is the comment again from, hold on, let me get back up here. Voodoo Child. How do we not believe that the industry is in child trafficking when you're seeing this being produced and released under what record label? I'm gonna go with Tough Love and then Bro Sanchez.
I apologize. I just got another call. My bad. Can you repeat the question?
No worries. It's on the screen from Voodoo Child, who
Okay.
says, how do we not believe that the industry is in child trafficking when you're seeing this being produced and released under what record label?
Voodoo Child, I definitely appreciate the question. I, Voodoo Child, do not believe that the industry is involved in child trafficking. Now, if you say persuasion in reference to over sexualizing, I would definitely agree. However, when you talk about child trafficking, I actually work with a special task force, and they basically give these classes and break down like different things to look for, the different type of groups, especially in here in Houston, there's different type of hubs, in reference to gateways, they call it, that people can get people out of the country fast. So these are the routes that they'll take, etc. And you know what we never get? Rappers involved. Like there are never no raids on no rappers. There's never no raids on no rapper houses. Their names never come up. So I think that we may be giving the rap industry a little bit, I don't even want to say credit. I think we may be shining a dim light on them when there's no real proof of it. However, in your region or your city or your town or your state, it may be different. But here in Houston, I'm actually originally from New York, but I live in Houston. And for the people that I work with, there is no signs that the rap industry is a part of sex trafficking. But, I digress.
Okay, Bro Sanchez.
I'm gonna keep an open mind that in an industry where we find a bunch of rich white, weird people that throw up horn symbols and wear crazy stuff and tats. And I'm gonna just say, just like Hollywood, you got some, do some, don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep that. That'll be my answer to it. But at the same time, I don't think it's a conversation that should really go all the way into like child sex trafficking. I think we should keep it on the sexualization of children. That's mild pedophilia. Like I said, when you got adult women looking at a young boy saying, you fine, boy, and licking their lips and stuff. And a lot of people in my chat room who guys was like, yo, that happened to me. Damn near every dude in the chat. So that says normalize, and we can keep pushing the age lower and lower. We can keep, but see, that happen with guys. It don't happen so much with girls because it'll look a certain way with a young girl. That's, to me, the conversation that I'm gonna have to do a whole show about that. I'm sorry, like I'm gonna have to take this and do a show. That's crazy. I'm still tripping off that. But yeah, I wouldn't go too far into the sex trafficking with it. You could. I'm pretty sure it goes on in every industry, and you wouldn't know. So it ain't even really worth speaking on unless you got some kind of receipts and all that. So I'll fall back.
And D. Shep says, no disrespect, but he's speaking from a whole different region that, for the most part, doesn't tolerate those behaviors. Thank you, D. Shep. And Rochelle says, D. Shep, it's sad. Voodoo Child says, I agree with you, Sanchez. I'm keeping it light, but I'm saying these are all signs of some infrastructure that exists. You know what I mean? Leave traces. And Enemies Public says it's all under the umbrella of entertainment. The entire industry sexualizes and exploits children. Your thoughts on that? Tough Love, and then Bro Sanchez, and then we're going to move on to Hassan Campbell.
Oh shit.
Watch your mouth now. Let's keep this
uh,
PG. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
uh, yeah. So the gentleman that proposed the question again, it all depends on your region. It all depends on how much information you're privy to. So I'm not trying to give you just pushback. What I'm trying to do is give you information from another perspective based on my region. However, I will say that the rap industry is very influential. It does over sexualize children. It does over sexualize men and women. So it's up to us as adults, us as parents, to make sure that our children understand what's appropriate and what's inappropriate. The issue is that there are a lot of single parent households that mother or father who is a single parent, they may be too busy to break down to their child, whether boy or girl, what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. So those kids then go out into the world. They have friends. Those friends have parents. And what those friends and parents are allowed to do or will be doing, sometimes it influences your children in a negative fashion. So it's not just the rap industry, it's the community. That's what I mean.
Okay. Did you have anything you wanted to add before we move on to Mr. Hassan Campbell? And D. Shep says, I'm sorry, I'm from the same region, so I understand. Okay. Everyone caught up on this little RT situation? And I think to me, it's sad, and Voodoo Child to me was on point with a lot of things. I'm going to do some research actually on CPS because we actually have people on social media on this app that have called CPS on particular people for much less. And Empress says really quickly, I believe that there is a lot of homosexual acts that go on in the rap/music industry. Absolutely. And we're going to go on to Mr. Hassan Campbell. I didn't know anything about this situation until many people started speaking about it, but apparently, allegedly, he was wounded. And from some of these stories, and Tough Love, I think you may have done a live on that. Your thoughts on that? Was this quote unquote stage? Did it happen? I saw with my own eyes him being in a hospital bed, unless my eyes are playing tricks on me. And then I heard and saw where some people attached the word clout to it. So, Suspect says, much love to Hassan. Absolutely, I have no problems with Hassan. I don't really have problems with anyone, but it's something that a lot of people have been speaking about. And since I have both of you gentlemen up here, your thoughts on what you've seen and heard.
I'll go second this time. You got it, brother.
Yeah, I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's fake. And it's just something that's still fairly new to me. So I'm still waiting on the people to fill me in for more. I was hesitant to speak on it because I know how YouTube is and people do anything for clout. So it really ain't much to say about it other than it could have been all staged. That's a possibility.
Okay, tough love. Your thoughts on that?
Um, yeah. So I'm going off experience with this one. You know, the brother said that he got shot. And what's crazy about this is, you know, I just happen to have experience. I'm actually from the Bronx. So the fact of the matter is, where he was, Hassan was not looking for no trouble. That's one. If he was looking for trouble, he'd have went to another part of the projects to find that trouble. That's one. Two, you're there early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that be out at night doing most of the BS, they sleep. Okay. You're talking to regular pedestrians, right? People going to bingo, going to church, trying to catch the, you know, the subway, wherever. So I think personally that it was staged. I never heard any gunfire. Um, I think that he got somebody to call in and he recorded the police call in reference to the dispatch. That was one. I think that he already had something planned in regards to some type of surgery or procedure that next day where he went to the hospital. Because here's the thing, he was using his GPS to get to the hospital. Anybody from the Bronx, you don't need a GPS to get to the hospital. You know where it's at, especially when you're from there. That's one. Two, where was the blood? You have on this bright garment where you can see, okay, well, hey, you know, he got shot in the shoulder, he got shot in the neck, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The bullet, the size, Jesus Christ, the size bullet that he had in his little bag. First of all, his entry wound wasn't even the size of the bullet, and the exit wound would have been even bigger. Now, if the entry wound was small and the bullet never came out, I could understand, right? However, if they had to do surgery, I could understand the size of the exit wound. However, his explanation for the situation just didn't make sense. Hassan Campbell and Charleston White to me are probably the biggest shock jocks of the year. And I think that this is all, you know, for views and clicks and all this other stuff. And I think it's scary and dangerous because I think there's going to be someone else that tries to supersede what these guys are doing. And they're going to put themselves in harm's way and put innocent bystanders in harm's way. So I think it's fake, all in all.
Voodoo Child says, clearly he needed to get a director. Oh my God.
Definitely. If he would have paid me, I would have helped him out.
See,
It would have blood on his face. It would have been gunfire. I mean, been all types of stuff. And there's another thing too, ladies and gentlemen, when you get shot, and this from a guy who was downrange in Iraq and Afghanistan, all right? When you get shot, your first thing is to stop the bleeding. Hassan Campbell not only got shot, but he drove himself to the hospital, which is not impossible, but he was on the phone and he was driving and he had a friend who wasn't impaired, who wasn't shot, who wasn't high, who could have drove. He was so busy worried about being online and driving that he didn't stop the bleeding. That's the number one thing you want to do, stop the bleeding. So unless he just found a dirty sock and put it on him or something, there was no blood on his shirt, nowhere. So I don't think he thought it all the way through, to be honest with you. I think he just said, And he was so cool, calm. Oh, I got shot. It's burning. Yeah, okay, I got it. But where's the ooh and the ahs? I mean, he's moving around, working the camera. He turning the steering wheel. There was no, I ain't gonna make it, bro. I ain't gonna make it. So I'm just saying it was too. I felt like it was staged.
Yeah, you making some damning points, but I think based on the points you making, because it's clear that it was staged. Is it him at this point, or the people that want to believe his lies because they idolize him so much? Because a lot of people, they want to believe get well, fam, and all that stuff, and it's like deep down inside they probably know that joint stage too. So you still gonna have a bunch of folks. I think it worked. It still worked though.
I agree. And you know what's so crazy? We're talking about the sex trafficking and all this, and it really all ties in, because if you think about it, we're talking about popular people who have an influence on the community and on our children. And this gentleman right here has an influence. He has an influence on people who've grown up from adolescence, listening and watching how this guy is acting. Now, even if he comes out a week, 2 weeks from now and say, "Oh, I played it off, I made it up," it's going to be somebody who has low self-esteem, someone who wants that standing ovation. They want that appreciation, right? The admiration. I'm going to do what he did, but now it's going to be real gunfire. I'm going to take what he missed out of doing, and I'm going to make sure I add it to my next thing. And what it's going to do is going to cause someone else to be hurt because somebody else wants to be famous. So I don't think Hassan Campbell really understands the bigger picture, because right now it's about clicks and views. That's what it's about.
Okay,
Well,
that's the gentleman's perspective.
If it's not staged, then I hope the brother get better. But, all the signs you pointed out make me think it's staged. Him driving the phone bed. Yeah, that's a lot of damning points.
Absolutely. So the next subject that everyone has been buzzing about is...
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I got Hassan Campbell in my chat room. I can give him your link, sister.
Oh, okay.
Son. Yeah, okay. We can bring him, if we're gonna speak on it. I'm fair, you fair,
Oh, sure, whatever. I'm good. You're blessing me, so I'm good. And thank you, Tough Love.
Yeah, because if he got shot in his arm for real, then like I said, hope he get better, man. But if it's staged, then man, he's pulling that Machiavelli on y'all.
Well. I mean, he's pulling a Charleston White, and again, these guys don't understand the level of magnitude and influence that they're going. They're going to be some people that are younger and dumber, and they're going to pull, just like I feel like that whole event where Hassan Campbell was staged, and I think it was sloppy, just based as a military veteran, 20 years in the military, who's been downrange, who's been in the street. I've seen gunshot wounds, and I've been I've been there, done that. That's kind of what I want to say. The fact of the matter is, we heard no gunfire. You're telling me somebody just fired one round? You mean it was a sniper? That bullet wound wouldn't. First of all, the bullet wouldn't even look like that. It wouldn't even look like that, brother. So what? So was it a sniper?
Can you drop the link in my chat room? I think you're a mod over there, and only he can click it to the stream yard. Yeah, I don't think there's no need.
Give me one moment.
No type disrespect or nothing. It's just people. He know when you come out with stuff like that, people gonna have doubts, and people gonna need reassurances, and people gonna, you know how it is, man. This brother said he was in Iraq and all that, and he saw a lot of bullet wounds. I think he made a lot of good points. But if the brother really got shot, man, hey, we ain't praying for no ill will to the brother.
No ill will at all. Doe Eyes, can you put the comment you just took off the screen back on the screen? I think that's very important. Okay, so let's attach this comment. Here's the thing. When I first heard about Hassan Campbell, I think it was about 3 years ago, and that was the story that kind of put Hassan Campbell on my radar. His story of coming to the internet and saying, you know what, I'm here to help any other victims or to prevent victims from being victims, etc. And I really, my heart went out to him, X, Y, and Z. However, since he's been online, has been no help. It has been nothing done. No foundations, no nonprofit organizations, no actual assistance. It's been new fish. It's fish tanks, hats, chains, guns, disrespect. So the thing about it is, what I've learned is when people get their 5 minutes of fame, after that 5 minutes, you see the real deal. They may go viral based on something that's a feel-good moment. Sometimes when people vent, they say sometimes when you upset, you're mad, you're drunk, you tell the truth. Cool. At that particular time, that 5 minutes, you told the truth. After that 5 minutes, now this really you. This really how you feel about things. This really what you think is important. I've seen nothing about Hassan Campbell helping victims. And that's why I say this is false. This is fake. Because I think it's more about likes and views. But I would love for him to hit the link and explain, because I got even deeper conversation for him.
Yeah, I think that when you come out with something like, even if I was to get shot right now, knock on wood, Lord forbid, people will come out saying, you think it's staged or not. So you always going to have that, and people going to present their arguments for whether they think it is or not. But thank you for dropping the link in my chat room, Sister Doe Eyes. Hassan Campbell, man, I think you should hit the link and, just speak your own truth if you're in the building. Salutes to you, man.
Absolutely. Again, this is no judgment, and this is absolutely no bashing of this gentleman whatsoever. But there are many people, again, speaking on this. And as I mentioned, there are some people that are with the population that says it may have been for, I'll just be kind with it, an embellishment, or perhaps this incident did occur, and I'm going to leave it at that. The link is there. If anyone else wants to chime in, you are welcome to do so. Voodoo Child says he be driving cars like coal seavers. He fall guy, man. And then Voodoo says he was trained on YouTube by some of the best so-called Navy SEALs. Is that what was said, Voodoo Child? Because see, I don't play with anything dealing with the military. A lot of people have made the ultimate sacrifice to serve this country, and even though some of them are still here, physically, mentally, they're not. So I don't play with the military whatsoever. So I just want to make that clear. This is a great show. I really appreciate this. Not a second has been wasted. Salute. Thank you, Voodoo Child. Rose Sanchez is awesome. Tough Love is actually very good as well and extremely passionate. And if you haven't checked him out, please do so. I'll put his link there as well. The Enemy's Public says it's all about the YouTube money. He talked about doing things that he's never attempted. He's helped absolutely no one. Now, I'm not going to say that I know this to be true, because I do not.
Well, here's the thing, guys, and I appreciate the Enemy's Public for saying that. Here's the thing. As much as we know about his alleged being shot, I don't know why I was about to say Obama. Pardon me, Obama. The African Bambaataa situation. As much as we know and it's been publicized about all these other things, why wouldn't you know that he's done X, Y, and Z to help families out? He knows where the Bronx River is. He knows that they're underprivileged kids. He knows the education system. He knows that they're single parents. He knows that they're homeless. He knows that there are other shelters for battered women and abused people. So you know all of these things because you come from that element. You're getting thousands of dollars. And I'm not trying to count nobody's pockets. What I'm saying is, brother, are you for the people or for yourself? That's really what it is. I mean, I seen a live myself where this guy was counting out stacks of cash, and I'm like, well, first of all, when you really got money, you know what you don't do? You don't advertise it like that. You don't walk around or have it all in your house because you know that makes you a target. Everything Hassan Campbell has done has really signified to me he's a grown child. His adolescence was taken not only by assault, but by prison, jail.
Yo.
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
I don't really condone this, man, for real. I don't really want to be bashing a brother. I just thought that the incident was suspicious because I'm a guy with an open mind. I even questioned the Virginia reporter shooting and all that stuff because there was no blood, the same things you pointed out. But he did have a wound on the arm. You said didn't match the bullet size. Yeah, but I don't really want to keep it on nothing but that because I don't got no beefs with Hassan.
No. I don't have a beef. I don't have a beef with Hassan. Everything that I'm saying right now, I've actually addressed to Hassan with Bullets Gotti. And I've actually talked to them about the particular thing. I said, brother, when are you going to get to actually helping people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Of course, I think he ran off, in another direction. However, again, what I'm saying? I digress because I don't want you to feel, one, uncomfortable, and two, you already expressed your grounds. But this, trust me, this don't have nothing to do with bashing Hassan. This is everything about your mission statement. If you're saying you're here to help kids and et cetera, then I feel like that should be upheld. And I think the problem is that we don't, as people, we don't hold people to their mission statement. They can do whatever they want to do when they want to do it, regardless of what their 5 minutes of fame got them famous for. But I digress.
Okay, next subject, as everyone has heard about, I'd be thinking probably last week, Diddy or Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever name you would like to give him. Now, we all know that Cassie or Cassandra Ventura filed a lawsuit with allegations stemming from rape and abuse. We all know from the story that the very next day they entered into a settlement. Your thoughts on that? And it appears okay, I'll put this up really quickly, real fast. B-Man, it appears that he is yet in trouble again. First question, this goes to Bro Sanchez. Do you believe that these allegations from Miss Cassie were absolutely true? Because many are saying that the settlement was accepted extremely fast, that it could have been a money grab, or given that we know, or allegedly, and I'm saying that to be prudent and responsible, that we know that there have been some strange occurrences of some people surrounding P. Diddy and his enterprise. Again, Rose Sanchez, and then Chuck Love.
And they said that Diddy actually beat the case, which he did. I didn't look much into it, but I kind of knew he would. Diddy is to New York what Jay Prince is to Texas in so many ways when it comes to how far they power reach. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really want to speak too much on it if I ain't look much into it, but I will chime in on it if I see fit. Yeah, salutes to Tough Love. He can take the mic.
Okay. Tough Love, you're up next.
I think my brother getting let off easy. As soon as I get your link to your page, I'm gonna be in your DM. I'm like, this motherfucker right here. Salute to the brother. So Diddy, I have not had a conversation with Diddy. I have been in a couple establishments with him or whatever. Overall, I think he a cool dude. However, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, this woman with her legal team was able to present something to Diddy's legal team. And I want you to go with what the brother just said. This man has reach. And if you know anything about Jay Prince, I'm actually here in Houston. So I know about Jay Prince, and I just happen to know about Diddy too. So if you know about their reach, their family is definitely had a staple on the hip hop community from the north to the south. So I say this. Someone said, why did she wait so long? It must be a money grab, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My thing is this, right? If I'm in a position with my family, like we eating whatever we eating, like, you know, we not living a lavish life, but we all right. But the fact of the matter is, once I get through my therapy, once I get to a place where it's no longer, because you know it's different levels of healing. So once I get through my anger, I get through my sorrow, I get through whatever, now I'm looking for reconciliation. Right now, I'm at a point where I have people around me that I know is going to support me. People around me I know that don't work for Diddy. People around me that's going to keep me safe, which is key. Stay with me. Now, I say these are all the encounters. These are all the dates and the times and the people that was there. The lawyers get together, they package it up, and they give it to Diddy's legal team. Diddy's legal team looks at it and say, oh, well, if we go to trial, I'm telling you right now, you don't want to go to trial. You might want to settle this, right? So they probably say, hey, we'll give you 2 million. Nope. We'll give you 5 million. Nope. We'll give you 30 million. That's our final offer. Okay, we'll take that. Here's the thing. She has to have some damaging stuff in order for P. Diddy to give her $30 million. I don't care how we feel, what we think, what our standards and principles are. Ladies and gentlemen, she has to have some damaging evidence against P. Diddy, which I'm sure she has because she was on the inside. So here's the thing. I heard Slim Thug say, oh, this is a money grab. And so what? So what? If this was your daughter, your sister, your mom, and she went through some type of traumatizing situation, you would want her to get paid too. You're lucky she didn't do it for 100 million. And this goes to men and women who are been in a situation. The problem is that people, they get on their platforms and they start talking to the audience, talking about, oh, well, if it happened to you last year, you shouldn't say nothing. If it happened to you 2 years ago, you shouldn't say nothing. That is the wrong message to be sending to people. If someone violates you, you have every right to fight back. Nobody can tell you how to fight back, when to fight back, or how to strike back. And I feel like she struck and she hit a gold mine. She got her $30 million and she's on her way. If it was a lie, then Diddy would have said, let's take it to trial. But I don't think it's a lie. And it's other accusers. I think it's 3 more accusers who come out, which I knew that. I actually did a video on that. 3 other accusers, because here's the thing. When you're in power for so long, you start to think that you're untouchable. I digress.
Okay. Welcome back, Voodoo Child. And thank you all for coming.
Salute, Voodoo Child. Salute.
Hey, man, I can't argue with nothing you said. It's just common sense. All I can say is right toe, Governor. Right toe. You know, he don't even pay his own artists, homie. So if he paid her that much, that hurt. And I'm done.
I don't know if it hurt him though. I think it definitely put a dent in something. But the thing about it is, you got to think about how much money. Let's think about this. How much residual? Yeah, how much residual he make? You understand what I'm saying? How much he's responsible for putting a lot of artists in place. Mary J. Blige, he's still getting money from Mary J. Blige. He's getting a piece of Mary J. Blige, and Mary J. Blige went and signed with damn Dr. Dre. Like, I don't think people realize the schematics of like the music industry or whatever. But the thing about it is, he is very well off. So giving her $30 million, Rich, honestly, I believe it was hush money. I don't think he wanted to go to trial and make that public record, because anybody that was a victim would now have that evidence against them, say, oh, that happened to me. Because there's still people coming out. But now they have to present what it is that she presented to get $30 million. But I think it's going to be a lot of payoffs that's going to happen. I really think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree, man. But we already know this. His attitude, what it seems to be, he would hate to have to pay. And I just want to say one other thing too. And on the part of Hassan Campbell, he don't be letting people like drive his car and shit. So he drove himself to the hospital.
That's hilarious. I don't know. I don't know if he let him drive. I don't know. That's hilarious, Voodoo. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
Okay. Thank you, Voodoo Child. So Melly says, Aaron Hall's resurfaced comments didn't help either. And the enemy's public has said that was civil. She can still go after him in criminal court.
You're exactly right. And people don't even, you're the first person I heard say that. That's exactly right.
Shot Kim, how are you? Link is there. We're talking about a myriad of things, but right now we're on Diddy, so a lot of this you may have to catch on the replay. So Melly says Puffy did to Mary J what Eazy-E did to Dr. Dre. Welcome Profile says, sounds about right. T Wriggle says, Melly, wow, I didn't know that. And Melly says, true. So with this settlement that occurred, people also brought up the R word, meaning RICO. Do you think that was, or is that still possibly on the table, with Bad Boy Records being the quote unquote larger target? Your thoughts on that? Because you have to have an enterprise. And I would think that Bad Boy would be with that.
I think that I think if Diddy is settled, it's two things that's in there. One, once I settle, that means, because we just talked about the criminal side and we talked about the civil side. I think that somewhere in the contract or in that documentation, it said that once you receive this settlement, you can't go after me in X, Y, and Z. You can't take it to the criminal side. You can't, it's a non-disclosure. You can't say anything after this. So I personally think that he's covered. Once he's paid the money, he's closed off any avenues of retaliation or any type of get back. That's what I personally think. So I don't think she's going to go to the criminal side. I don't think she's going to go after Bad Boy. I don't think none of that. I think she's going to go away and continue living her life. And that's what it is. 30 million is enough money for her family to do what they need to do. I almost guarantee it. So I don't think she's going to do anything else, to be honest with you. And I think that with any settlement that he comes to, it's going to be the same thing.
Okay, Rose Sanchez, and we'll go on to your area of expertise. Thank you, Tough Love.
Oh yeah, we can move to the next topic. I'm not really versed in this whole Bad Boy situation, but as far as a RICO go, I think it'll be a harder argument against Diddy than it was for like YSL and stuff like that.
Okay, what we're going to speak about next, and I'll put it out there so you can get ready to cook as Rose Sanchez normally does. We're going to speak about the occult. You've got something you ready to show and share with that?
So the word,
I wanted to put up a couple of comments first. I just wanted to let you know that's where we're going to go into next, and then we'll end up with dreams. So Voodoo Child says, but she has set a precedent for others who may be offended by the same person, Mr. Combs and Melly says Puppy settled because he would have to testify in a civil trial, which would be used in a criminal trial if they press charges. Big Dog, salute Big Dog, FMFP, and Enemies Public says she may not, but the can of worms is already open. Okay, so that will conclude the Diddy situation. And for those of you who are followers of Bro Sanchez, he is into many other things that will push you to think outside of the box. However, I don't believe there's a box. So he will push you to think and explore. And with that, Brother Sanchez, would you like to speak on the occult? And after that, dreams. And that will conclude this broadcast. And the link is there in both areas for any questions people may have or any smoke, because I know that there have been some fire debates with Bro Sanchez and his research. But you can't deny that he will push you to at least research and, as he taught me, ask questions. So, without further delay, Rose Sanchez and Tough Love, if you'd like to stick around and get a little taste of what Rose Sanchez is deeply into, you're welcome. If not, thank you so much for your contributions to this conversation.
I appreciate that. I'll stick around and listen.
Absolutely. All right, the occult with Rose Sanchez. Let's roll.
Yeah, so the word occult just means hidden. If I can show it, then it ain't really a cult. But the thing is, what it really means is it ain't known to the average person. Just like when we use the word secret society, most people are privy to the knowledge that we get in regular society. It's other social structures and higher forms of knowledge outside of the social norm and what they want the masses to know. And basically what I do, I study government operations that the masses ain't privy to, such as Operation Paperclip, Operation Fishbowl. And one can only wonder what was some of the revelations that was coming out of some of these profound experiments that was done, and they wasn't sharing a lot of it with the masses. People like to say government conspiracy. But you know, that conspiracy word, it can get you in trouble. You know, they call it conspiracy theory, but a conspiracy is by definition a secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. So if somebody says they're a government conspiracy, they probably, I would say it's a good chance there is that this group of people we call in the government will be naive to think that they don't have some foul intents as well. And they've been vocal about them throughout the years. A lot of the world's most powerful people, such as Kissinger, et cetera, and all that. So I'm very passionate about basically when I'm saying waking people up, is basically, you know, we're relying on, a lot of people believe in a government structure that's already planning to depopulate most of the earth through certain systems and stuff that they're going to be implementing. So I think there should be warning before destruction. And I'm sort of the ones that like to do all of the warning. But I'll share some of the stuff that I got here with you. I'll go ahead and screen share here.
Absolutely, and thank you.
I hope the people on my end can see this as well. I don't know if they can. But you know what? Let me do this. I can do it this way. Yeah, you can share my screen. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is some of the explosion experiments that they was doing in the 60s. right around the time of the war. And I'm just gonna play this one real quick. Because during this time, we was trying to figure out a lot of secrets of the universe. The space exploration was still young. No one really left the Earth before. You know what I'm saying? We was coming up around the time of the space programs during these times of Operation Fishbowl and all of that. But they were trying to figure out the true shape of the Earth. And so the blue marble poster sealed it. This was a debate that was going on in the 60s among prevalent scientists. They was trying to figure out the structure of the universe. And there's a lot of ancient conceptions of our universe. And we also have this concept of our universe being conceived through a process called the Big Bang. So when man was smart enough to develop bombs that would create a huge enough explosion or a big bang to allow him to see how nature would organize the elements. So a lot of these experiments, when they was releasing these explosions, another thing that was learned is if our universe is an expanse of energy, just like a bomb or a big bang, then the bomb that we're setting off on Earth, it should tell us what we're in on a cosmic level. Since we can't lead a thing, this would be a good experiment to do. But why did I show that? Is because it did just that, and I brought some receipts to show a little bit of what I mean here. This is from some of the explosions. And so I made the connection between the Big Bang, all of the ancient cosmological systems that talked about the universe being an expanding universe. And it dawned on me then that when we study the release of energy, life is all about the release of energy. So everything is slowly releasing all of its energy until there is no more. And it's like when we put a drop of seed on the ground, it's no different than dropping a bomb on the ground. They both will produce this same pattern, whether it's a tree or a mushroom cloud, because there's no random patterns in the universe. Everything is resembling the expansion of energy all the way down to the human being. And this is from Egypt. What I'm about to show you. Hold on. This one here is from Egypt. Now this is talk about the energy that's around us, the auric field and all that. But this is the way the Pharaoh was teaching that in the form of the Jedi pillar. And if you look at the Jedi pillar and the auric fields that surrounds us, it resembles also the Big Bang or energy expanding. So if we study the way energy release and start comparing it to what we are, which is energy releasing, a source of energy that's releasing itself. That's the only thing that exists is the expansion of energy. And from that perspective, you can see there's one connection between all ancestral people that walk the earth. Even here from Hindu, showing us that this mushroom cloud was basically the concept of the Holy Grail. If you see the comparisons there, the cup, how they give you that. But this is the secret knowledge of what's causing the sun and moon to constantly go around this central point. All of the debris in a mushroom cloud will go around the central point. Now that explosion in the very middle, that's the tree of life. So we start comparing this to ancient cosmologies, you'll get stuff like this, and you can start, comparing it to a lot more. But this stuff is occult. It's not hidden to everybody. It's the point that I want to make. It's all about electromagnetism. And that's something that they're not teaching us for real, how the earth is actually generating this energy. But like we said, the information that they teach us on a general level in a regular society, that isn't the information that's really known to the controllers and the people who really empower. And that's when we start using words like occult and all of that. So I don't think that the people in power would ever give us the knowledge that we would need to compete on the level that they're competing on. So it's up to us to look in places they ain't telling you to look. And so that's what led me here, because this is the knowledge right here that foundates all technology and the most advanced technology, all the way from torus fields to quantum computers. I'm gonna fall back. What we're looking at here, though, is just a collage I made of different interpretations of the universe from different cultures, all the way to a ripple effect to show that this is a simple pattern in nature of energy expanding. And that pattern is what they found out during Operation Fishbowl, that our Earth was literally a fishbowl. So in a lot of cultures, a lot of religions, this stuff is personified as deities. For example, the Jesus breaking the bread. Jesus is the Christian form of the earth god. And right now, you didn't really ask me any questions, sister. So I'm just kind of going through some of my slides, giving people a glimpse of some of the connections that I'm making. It's syncretism is what I do.
Oh, no. I was just making sure that I had all of the comments up. So, this is one of the many collages and teachings that you've had, which I find fascinating. And honestly, you have to do more research on it to put it together. But why is it, do you believe, that people are so quick to attach conspiracy? And the reason why I ask that is because there have been, for many, many years, people speaking about Area 51. And I'm sure you have heard this many, many times. Some people say that it's real. Some people say that it isn't. I have my own thoughts on that. But what would you say to people who are quick to slap conspiracy on things that either they may not know or perhaps are afraid to delve into, because if you dig just a little, you may be surprised or perhaps frightened about what you may actually find out. In other words, we're under the guise of a group of people that will feed us information. Some may say propaganda, and because some of us don't read or research for ourselves, we believe that, and it turns into fear mongering, or, as I mentioned earlier, conspiracy. So, you being who you are and researching and showing the receipts and going back to ancient times, how do you respond to that, or how would you respond to that? Because it, we see it in, I'll just say, at the top, the upper echelon. And I'm sure critical thinkers can figure that out. People will feed us what they want to, when they want to, but we do not have to accept the meal that is being placed in front of us. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. Um, I think the word conspiracy is being used to replace the fact that the average person can't make a legitimate argument against a person that done enough research to even come up with a quote unquote conspiracy. So like the stuff that I just showed on the screen, for example, let me do this one more time, make a good point here.
Absolutely. And I will expand it so people are
So,
able to see it.
so here we have this is just an apple right here in the top left when you cut it open. Now, everything in nature resembles energy expanding or a torus field, and that's what these energy fields is on the right of this diagram. Even when we look at the way fishes make a swarm, I'm gonna break this down even deeper. Hold on. Everything in nature is following the path of an energy field, a magnetic energy field. Let me just show this real quick. So here is what a torus field is. And this is like what an apple look like and all that. So everything in nature has this same pattern. The energy field around our body is shaped like this. Your body is in the middle of this circle, and that's why it shapes like a hourglass. This is what Vitruvian man was teaching us, how to, when we make snow angels in the snow, we're making this hourglass shape. That's called a hyperboloid. That shows us the angles and dimensions that the human body is. You able to make a complete circle with this shape, and it's a sacred geometry behind all this. So just like we see these fish swarming, they're mimicking this energy field. It's sacred geometry. It's, in other words, it's order to everything in the universe. It's order, and this showing us the path of magnetism. All of the fish is going into the middle of the circle to go up or down because it's height levels. And so they're using the middle of it like a stairway system. And that's what the ancestors were saying about the middle of the earth, North Pole being a stairway to heaven. So everything was we see in nature is not just randomly organized structures. This built by perfect design with intent behind it. And I think they want to hide that, to hide the fact that the Big Bang just wasn't a random mishap that created all of this intelligent life. But I could go deeper into the agendas behind it and expand more on these concepts. But I want to leave a minute for you to interject if you like. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely. So, do you believe, because you spoke on spheres in one of your lives, I think a few weeks ago, so does that correlate with the saying or the adage, everything goes full circle?
Yeah, we live inside of a sphere, but everything about them is backwards. They want us to think we live on top of a sphere. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of reasons why, but it'll take me probably another hour to go into the agendas behind why they hit it. That's going to go into a lot of these different operations and stuff. But maybe next time we can dive more into that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, because this is a lot of information for people who are actually new to this or maybe not up to speed, because that's a lot of information to absorb. And then, as I said, many people have to cross reference or do their own research and compare and come up with what they actually see as far as your presentation is concerned. But definitely, you made a lot of sense with the spheres, and when you go into etymology as well, it all ties in, but it is so much. It's a lot when you think about it, sometimes overwhelming.
I think that it's literally boils down to what type of vibe or your tribe is, because some, if you don't know much about basketball, and you in a crowd of people that's talking about what player doing this and what stats that one got, and you don't know how to kind of fit in, it can be overwhelming. So I think it's just, you know what I'm saying, something for everybody out there. And if it ain't for you, it can overwhelm you. By the way, the people that want to know what this is, it's called syncretism. I'm gonna look it up for y'all so y'all can look into it. It's the practice of combining different beliefs in various schools of thought. Syncretism involves the merging or assimilation of several originally discrete traditions. You basically get the point, and that goes into combining all different symbols, basically saying how the ancestors said all is connected, because there's one truth, but there's many lies that's dividing the people. But everybody's little lie is just a piece of the puzzle. Just like I'm showing here, all of these different cultures that I've researched, from the Dogon to Mayan to the Olmecs, you name it, all of them had the same consistent science about our universe. So when people, it's not really that it's my knowledge. I'm really just teaching ancient cosmology. You can sum it up that way. I'm using syncretism and ancient cosmology to make connections about reality and see reality through the lenses that ancient people saw it through. This research have cracked the code with what deja vu is, what dreams are, and all of that stuff. I'm not really going deep into it. I just wanted to briefly touch on it and lead them to where, because we're gonna do more, and we'll they'll have something to look forward to. But basically, I can share the fact that our universe is an expansive energy, and the energy started from the center and outward, just like they tell us with the Big Bang. And I made collages to show all around the world how people are basically creating rituals and religions and spiritual systems that are embodying that ancient knowledge of our universe. This one right here is in the top right corner. We have an electromagnetic energy field. See, I repeat this stuff so much that it's like I'm just repeating myself a lot to my people. So that don't ask me why I'm not crunk with it, right? But everything in nature, from sperms racing to the egg to everything that expanded away from the point of the Big Bang, is resembling a torus field. And that's basically the one truth. Me expounding more on that truth is what needs to be done, because you just looking at these collages without me, going to my notes and actually doing a presentation, it's just giving, like you said, a glimpse. But if you got any questions, that can probably aid my
I do, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Why is it that in a lot of collages that I've seen, not specifically yours, but others, and when it comes to certain religions, and I would actually like to add in gang culture and or mindset. What is the significance with the energy and the human eye?
Energy.
Yes. Why is it that a lot of the symbolism that we see many times focuses on the human eye? Like you'll see eye jewelry or symbols over the eye or art with an eye. You see where I'm going with it? Yes. I mean, I'm trying to go there without.
I got you.
Well, you know where I'm going.
So when they talk about life is about photosynthesis,
Yes.
The question we gotta ask is, how does physical reality comes from light? Because again, it goes back to the Big Bang concept. The universe is an expanse of light. Now, science said that light become water, wood, fishes, and people through basically a process of chemical reactions. But the only way you can legitimately explain how light, the stuff that's illuminating the room I'm in right now, can turn into physical objects is through a process of having a simulation and using holography, meaning that our universe ain't really physical for real. It's holographic, and we're inside of a and science basically tell you that. They say that most of the universe is 99% nothing. And they say that is only 1% matter. That's telling you that you're basically in a hollow sphere. You're in an expanded bubble, like you blowing up a chewing gum and blowing a bubble. And the bigger it get, the more hollow it get. So that's what the Big Bang is, the expanding universe, and light becoming forming itself into physical things through the process of photosynthesis is just a modern fancy way of them not trying to tell you the secrets of the holy secrets. The word holy come from holography, and our universe is holographic. This was the concept of light bodies and all this stuff. Is that nothing is really how it appears when you inside of a simulation that's holographic. Physicality is just a program that's being ran by the central nervous system. The central nervous system is what they call in seeing. That's what allow us to smell, touch, feel. This is everything Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix, that what you perceive as reality is just signals that's being processed by the central nervous system. So reality goes beyond those senses. 2020 is our pocket of reality, from sync, even from sound. We hear from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So just like sight. So animals hear beyond that. So we was once sperm cells. Now we're humans. In our next form, we'll be some greater. But we'll never the only thing. Energy is always expanding itself and transforming itself. So basically what I got on the screen here is light. What I'm showing is what light looks like when it expands. Can you see the little rainbow stripes in it?
Absolutely. And they're actually very prominent. You can see the colors. Well, I can see them with no difficulty whatsoever.
This is what the ancestors' concept of our universe was. That there's a universal plane, a dielectric inertial plane that creates duality, up and down, sky, heaven and hell. And basically hell is like this reflected version of our universe, as we can see, like this bottom world. This is how this whole concept got started, but this is based on magnetism. Our universe literally resembles a huge electromagnetic energy field. So this ain't just nothing that the ancestors was pulling out of their behind. Because when I show this ancient cosmology right here, and I show how light actually expands, because we're talking a Big Bang. We're talking a Big Bang, which is an expansion of light. And this is what we get. And here is another ancient version of our universe. Check this one out. If you look at that and you look at that, you'll see it's the same thing. So this is how light becomes physical matter through holography. And just to show that, we actually going into that with our technology today. We making holographic humans. We doing that today. So this concept of a holographic human, we won't be the first ones to do it, because we find that the pharaohs in Egypt and all of them wanted to cheat death, and that they were doing the same thing. So I can actually show you in Egypt this same concept of the pharaoh cheating death, because in the future, this is what the World Economic Forum want to do. They want humans to live out their life in holographic avatars. So if you look at Pharaoh Aten, he changed Egypt with his new. See, all of these rich pharaohs wanted to cheat death. And the same way we're going to cheat death with technology in our time, the Egyptians already did it in their time. So here is Aten right here. And then today we get stuff like this in our time. It's the same concept of cheating death through holography, which is, and the root word of holography is holy. This is the holy knowledge what allow Jesus to get up out the grave, the concept of light projecting, beaming. When we say Lazarus, we're saying laser us. This is laser technology, projection technology. So the technology, when they said Jesus got up out the grave with a new body that was made out of light, that's going to happen in our time. We're going to cheat death with holographic avatars through holography, according to science. And I've already went to the websites. We can go more into that too in the future, but we won't be doing nothing new. Like I said, the Egyptians did it and a lot of more cultures, but this is stuff we go into on my channel. But yeah, I don't want to give them too much, so we can.
No, not at all. That was
okay,
perfect. But I had a quick question. Just a touch. As you said, you don't want to give them too much. Deja Vu, the movie, starring Denzel Washington and I believe it's Pamela Patton. Briefly, your thoughts on Deja Vu, because that movie, the premise of that was basically using quantum physics to undo what was done. And I've always said that I believe that art truly imitates life. And that movie was several years ago, but according to a lot of your presentation and your collages and your research, how much credence would you give undoing the undone?
According to our ancestors, the past and the future were created at the same time. They say that we live in a multi-dimensional universe with polarity. If I can jump up, I can go down. If I can go left, I can go right. You see what I'm saying? If there's man, there's woman, sun and moon. We can remember the past and we can remember the future. This is something that they learned at the Institute of Berkeley in the 70s. They learned that deja vu is actually in the same part of our mind where we access memories from. So we're remembering the future just like we remember the past, like we can move backwards in time and forward in time. What happens with deja vu, because the past and the present, the past and the future was expanded around the present. And according to the ancestors, these two was created at the same time. So the concept of Christ having a will that's already written out, meaning if you told everybody everything that they're going to do tomorrow is already written out and it ain't nothing they can do to change it, that'll be crazy. That's what the story of Christ was. It was prophecy that needed to be fulfilled. So that was the way the ancestors taught about all of us, that we all had a certain mission that we came here to fulfill. And once we fulfill it, it'll be our son and bottom, our greatest deed, our greatest manifestation in this form. Our purpose, our passion, So a lot of ancestors even said that you would come back here until you fulfill it, your true purpose. And it basically won't be allowed to leave and go to your next greater form until you do that. So that's how deep it was. We don't have purpose today. So a lot of the stuff that I teach, people gonna ask me, man, what's the purpose of it? You know what I'm saying? Because if they don't, they feel like, you know, if it ain't nothing, and you know, when we talk quantum physics, the word physics only deal with the physical aspect of the universe, which is only 1%. That means 100% of our scientists is all investigated into studying this little 1% of reality. And we want to know why we going to hell in a handbasket. To understand the seen world is to understand the unseen world, and this is where the ancestors had us beat at.
Absolutely, and that's a perfect segue into my last topic for you, which is dreams. Let me type that really quickly.
So, like deja vu, I
Mm-hmm.
think that the universe is split up into layers of time, meaning that there's a version of you that already exists in a future setting and a past setting, allowing you the ability to relive childhood moments and dreams and have deja vu moments. So we're going back and forward in time. What happens when we go forward in time, we come back to this universe, and that time hasn't come here yet. So we forget we even been to the future. Now, when the future catch up with where we at, we say, wait a minute, I saw this before. Now check this out, right? If tomorrow is an empty page on a book, deja vu shouldn't exist, because that's like me peeking to the next page and saying everything that's written, I'm getting ahead of the class. And a deja vu moment ain't just you seeing the image, you literally there, you smell the air, you know how you was feeling. You had a certain feeling too that you relive when you was in the future. There's no way, if the future ain't written out yet, that humans should be having deja vu. But we wonder about deja vu, but these mysteries were solved when we understood that we're in a holographic simulation that's late and time is layered with a latency effect. But I don't want to go too deep into that.
Oh
I
no, not at all, not at all. No, I just
go
had a question as
yeah.
far as it relates to dreams. Many people speak on dreams and what it means. I know that coming up, there are our elders who would say, you may have had a bad dream because you ate something you shouldn't have, or you ate and you laid down, or medication, or there are a lot of reasons that people speak about dreams. But what I had a question was, and we can end on that after you give your perspective. Those that have dreams and or nightmares, is there any scientific approach or thought or research that dreams can be considered as premonitions?
I think that our mainstream science tend to not dive into the study about the dream realm. And that's when you start getting them divided up with each other. And some of them say it's in the realm of pseudo, and some of them say, well, this is something deep that's, so that this is one of those realms. Um, and that's because today, things that goes into the great beyond, we like to write it off as, well, it's just something in your mind. That's just all in your mind. Now, the ancestors said we are our mind, and our mind traveled to different bodies. And I'll show you. Some of them call them the chakra layers, some of them call them kashas. When we dream, we're literally going to different there are multiverses, parallel realities. And a version of you is already in that universe right now as I speak, autopilot, doing its thing, and you're not conscious of it. when we lay this body down, we can travel in alternative universes and other situations, and you don't even know you dreaming till somebody wake you up. If somebody walked up to you in that dream and said, "Hey man, you dreaming," you'll think they're crazy. So, but that's what I'm saying about being open-minded and really learning the truth, this knowledge, and being humble, thinking outside of what we've been taught. Because, like I said, a lot of the research that they was doing in Berkeley about the dream state, it backs everything that I'm saying up. I was doing videos on this years ago. They actually communicated with people from alternate realities with this reality.
Absolutely. So I'll have to do more research on that as far as Berkeley is concerned. I've heard a lot of people say that when they dream or have sleep terrors or nightmares, a lot of times when they wake up, they're dreaming that they may have passed on.
Yeah,
And then they finally wake up. And the last point I had is, and we can bring it home and that'll be it. When people flatline, and we've heard a lot of people speak about they've seen the white light, things of that nature. From your perspective, if a person flatlines and say they're pronounced, but all of a sudden they're back, does that person or their spirit, for those of you that are believers and some of you are not, do you think that spirit goes to hell, heaven, or during that time that they were on that flat line, they were teetering into purgatory, if that's something that people believe? And I'll end my questioning on that. That's just something I thought was interesting and
oh,
wanted to get perspective.
that's gonna be a quick one, because I actually believe that Earth is hell and heaven is an entire realm above this realm that we're yet to ascend to. I think that humans in this earth are like seeds in the ground, and heaven is when that seed break its shell and transforms itself into a tree and start to grow up above the dirt, above the surface, and as something new. We could so and my thing is heaven is a transformative process within itself. And so that's my concept of it. I think we are all like just on a infinite stairway of transformation and battering ourselves to greater and greater forms beyond that we can imagine. And I'll end on that. Thank you.
Absolutely. Me, myself says big facts. We are souls, are like spirit, sperm, and planets are the egg. Thank you, me, myself. Well, Bro Sanchez, this has been an excellent build. You provided a lot of information, a little bit of comedy there, but again, something I believe that everybody can glean something from, to at least make themselves think. And as you mentioned before, question. Don't always accept what is being given to us, especially from those in the upper echelon. Always question. That's what I get from your teachings.
That's something that'll save your life for real. Question everything. That is, it sound cliche, but because we gotta, I mean, it's something that we gotta live by as a people.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you for having the bill, and I look forward to the next one. Salutes to everybody in both chats, and peace and love to you, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you, Bro Sanchez. Take care. Everyone, thank you again for tuning in. If you have not already, please make sure that you visit Bro Sanchez on both of his channels, and also Tough Love. Voodoo Child, I'm not sure if you have a channel or not, but please be sure to drop your link if you do, so we may visit that as well. Thank you to all of the members that stopped by. Appreciate you all. Thank you to all of the subscribers and those that came by to listen. And thank you to those that sent your donations. I appreciate that so very much. Again, that was Bro Sanchez. Again, make sure that you've had the opportunity to go check out some of his past broadcasts, teachings, and the collages that he takes time to put together for everyone, just to again enrich and enlighten your mind. So, with that, everyone enjoy the remainder of their Saturdays. Perhaps it's Sunday, depending upon where you are on the globe. And make sure that you join me next week as I celebrate chapter 55. I am so elated for so many reasons, many of them personal, but it is a milestone, and it shows that what man can't do, others may. Disc Lord, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you before, and you have disappeared. So with that, everyone, take care. And again, thank you so very much.